Good evening, everybody. Hello, welcome, friends, subscribers, and the community. You're all welcome. And for those of you that have watched the three or four previous videos to this one, hope you made it through those okay. um, just a little, just a smidgen of some family history and some of my roots and where I come from, but. This video I'm going to talk a little bit about later years, which she disclosed in the early video. She wasn't going to elaborate on any of that with any of the children. Um, that was all left to us to do at a later time if we chose to. But my reasoning for kind of putting this on here, what does it have to do with any of this, right? Well, when I began having what I call my issues or complications or my identity, my gender identity dysphoria, when I just, it started way, way, way back when. Growing up when I was a little child and that name, Shannon, that they'd given me, I was teased about it. I think, at a certain age, and I can't really recall, it was in my younger years that, it seemed more prevalent that when anyone had obtained knowledge of my middle name, Shannon, I was teased and, you know, ooh, Shannon, you have a girl name, da 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 da. You know how children are when they're little, and I was once that happens to you at a tender age before puberty and all those kinds of things, it really sticks and it really affects or can affect how you feel about that. And and I don't know if I carried shame or in the beginning or what it was, but I was embarrassed. And I know I had a little anger at one point that I had this name when I would be teased about it. And actually, it began to, the more I heard it, it really began to manifest itself within me to a point where people understood it before I did. It's kind of something that baffled me. But, fast forward, um, when I was really confronting my issues, and I went for many, many years doing my own self-analysis and my own soul-searching and self-searching for my real identity. I've been down a lot of paths in life and tried many, many different things, and have been exposed to many, many different cultures and just a lot of stuff. Um, Decades of it. I grew up basically, I was born in the 50s. I grew up in the 60s, 70s. I was very much 70s child, 80s child, 90s, and into the 20th century. Things really, I really tried to get a grip and was still very, very, had become very, very confused. Even later in life. I was very confused early in life. I was a really confused juvenile. And so anyway, that name, which was a given birth name, when I was having my identity challenges and actually recognizing that I was a female, I was lights went on, that I had this name with me all along, that I could use, that I could be this person, that I was this person. And then after my parents had died, which hasn't been that long ago, it's been 6 or 8 years now. I think it's been 8 years now. I wanted to talk to my parents back then about my issues and never had. I used to wear my mother's makeup. I used to dress in her clothes, all in privacy. My sisters as well. I had a lot of sisters, and I would get into their things, whether they knew it or not. I don't think they did, because all these kinds of things were done in secrecy. And um, I used to race motorcycles, and I did a lot of off-road riding growing up. And I had a stash out in a riverbed where I used to ride my motorcycle. I had different places where I used to go and do things that young teenagers would do, and this is when I kind of identified that I had, or identified somehow when I look back, that I had a bit of a case of autogynephilia. I used to kind of get turned on, dressing myself as a female and presenting feminine to myself, and then with sexual overtones. So that's why I say that. But it was sporadic. It wasn't a habitual thing. It was something I did on a regular basis, but off and on. So I recognized this, and it was part of my dysphoria. But it was something that was kind of in the middle of it all. I recognized I had issues at a young age, and then as I got into a young adult or late teen, young adult, I was having those kinds of things, and they were really, really overtoned with sexual things, because I was, now a young man, I guess, but really a young woman, and having the challenges with that identity with myself, because I really kind of felt I was a homosexual for many years. And that's in some of my earlier videos. If you've watched those, um, you can get a lot of insight to what I'm talking about. I did elaborate on a few of those about years of my past and certain issues in myself searching for my identification. Um, so anyway, the name Shannon I I embraced when I finally sought professional help with my dysphoria, and um, I'm happy for it. And the correlations that my mother used in the book and the words that she left behind for me, I wished I could talk to her. You see, I didn't get this book and this story in particular until my parents were removed from my life. So I could never ask them about this. So I'm going to need to continue in about a minute. I'll be right back.